What's up, gang? It's Dominic D'Angelo of adfreeshows.com, SEScoops.com, and OneTrueSportTV.com. Also, 4HorsemanNetwork.com and RVDTV.com. I mean, I guess I'm a lot of .coms. But I'm here today with you for Rumor and Innuendo. We're going to chat a little bit of the SmackDown preview and some odds and ends, I think. I honestly don't really know what I'm going to talk about, but I will find some stuff because there's always things to talk about in the world of pro wrestling. I do have a little something I do want to talk about. Baron Corbin, believe it or not. I will be discussing him a little bit. Let's give some shout out to some folks in the chat here. We got Alt Jake. Happy Friday, everybody. Triple E says, what's up? And Dre Owens, happy Friday in cold ass PA. It is cold right now. 20 degrees over here in Pittsburgh. I experienced some of that this morning walking to the gym and to Starbucks. I've got my tea right here. I'm mostly a coffee man, but I've been switching up to the tea. Earl Grey with honey. Can't beat that. So a little bit of diversity here in my drinking of hot beverages. But anywho, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk a little bit of pro wrestling. We got a SmackDown preview tonight to take a look at. LA Knight taking on the Bloodlines, Tama Tonga. The megastar will be in action when he takes on Tama Tonga after the latest Bloodline attack on SmackDown. LA Knight was determined to get payback on the Bloodline on SmackDown, but the group jumped him, only for Braun Strowman to return and even the odds on behalf of the megastar. Now, Knight and Tonga will go one-on-one live on Friday at 8 p.m. Central, 7 Central, to try and settle this one and for all. This feud benefits greatly LA Knight, I think like the act is plateaued, really. It gets a reaction. LA Knight's still very popular, but this just them coming fresh off a program with Roman Reigns, indirectly Cody Rhodes, the Survivor Series Hell in a Cell, and now LA Knight's in the mix with somebody like a Jacob Fatu. Really good stuff here for LA Knight. Good, and I think very smart on WE's part because, yeah, I think the act is kind of stays the same, treads water, still popular, but you put it in a different landscape in something that was just a main event program, and you have a rising star like Jacob Fatu in the mix. This is good stuff, like on all ends. It's a really quality stuff, I think. So I'm intrigued by this. I like it. I'm curious how much LA Knight will step his game up when it comes to certain things like this, how he will assimilate in this storyline as Jacob Fatu's pretty dang undeniable when it comes to being on the microphone and stuff like that. There's some intriguing elements to this, and I'm ready. I'm all for it. So I think it's pretty cool. Also, pretty cool is Pretty Deadly up against the Motor City Machine Guns. The Motor City Machine Guns want a piece of Pretty Deadly, and they'll get it when the two teams face off in the middle of the ring. Elton Prince and Kit Wilson tried to interfere in Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin's match against Los Garza, but it backfired, and the Motor City Machine Guns still prevailed. Who will walk away the winners when the two of SmackDown's best tandems square off? We'll find out on Friday. Yeah, I like this establishing some tag teams. There's a distinct division here, and I love how the Motor City Machine Guns are an intricate part of it. They really established the tag team division by winning the title so soon and being an already recognizable act, and now you have Pretty Deadly in the mix here, and that's some good stuff here. So really quality stuff in DIY as the tag team champions. You got a good heel team. So I'm all for this as well. I think the contrast in personalities and styles with Pretty Deadly and Motor City Machine Guns only benefits both for it. And again, much like LA Knight with Jacob Fatu, Pretty Deadly with Motor City Machine Guns will enhance Pretty Deadly. So good stuff there. Let's see. Up next, we also... wait. Yep, that's it. That's all they have for a preview. It's 3 hours. And we get 2 matches announced. But I'm sure we can assume to see Cody Rhodes in the mix. We can see Kevin Owens in the mix. with the women's division. Now that Bailey has left, there's other options, things. Who will step up? Tiffy time was a big highlight last week, and she defeated Bailey handedly, clean. So, what will they do moving forward with her? You have Candice LeRae, Nia Jax is still there, Naomi. So, what would you like to see in the women's division on SmackDown? Charlotte Flair is in the wings at some point. When will she show up? Could it be tonight? Could it be nearing the Royal Rumble? Could it be at the Royal Rumble? We'll have to wait and see. Triple E says 3 hours for 2 matches. What are they debuting SmackDown on Netflix? Yeah, it's you think that they would really promote a little bit more though. I get that this has kind of been their thing, and maybe they feel like they'll have like a baked in audience. It's a Friday night, so they'll get what they'll get with it. I don't know. I would just try to promote a little bit. Hey, your top star and Cody Rhodes is going to be there. You're like somebody is returning. I'm just thinking just offhand, but I would do a little bit more promotion if I was WWE SmackDown in USA. So, but yeah, it seems like a pretty overall. Even those 2 matches though are intriguing, so I'm interested. I'm intrigued. Just the 3 hours is just a lot. It's a lot, and I know I talked about this earlier. I think earlier this week and stuff like that. But Raw on Netflix being 2.5 hours, and then you have SmackDown now here 3 hours. Plus you got NXT. It's a lot of wrestling content. We're not even factoring AEW's presence on television too. So I think it would behoove SmackDown to promote a little bit more matches or a little bit more appearances on Friday night, even if it's already assumed that this is going to happen. I mean, card subject to change, but I think you want to promote the card a little bit. It would be different. I think you don't necessarily have to worry about that too much with Netflix. I think Netflix is, such a big brand, but it's USA Network. It's not Fox. You're not on Fox anymore. You're on USA Network. So you have a smaller audience that will try to engage. And so casting a net when you have different talents, why not do that? Think you, I don't know. I don't know what their strategy is. Maybe if I ever get into a WWE press conference, maybe if it's a WrestleMania week, not gonna be a Royal Rumble. I will not be in Indianapolis for Royal Rumble, and I won't be there for Elimination Chamber in Toronto. I don't have a passport. I need to get a passport, so we'll see. All right, let's see what else I want to talk about. Let me pull this stuff up here real quick. So this is a topic that I've wanted to touch upon maybe the past couple of days. Baron Corbin, aka Tom Pestock, I think is doing something pretty cool right here and has the potential. Now, Robert could greatly disagree with me. He's expressed he's just not very much into Baron Corbin as a talent and things like that. But I've always kind of liked Baron Corbin. I've liked him since his days in NXT. I think his end of days finisher is one of the greatest finishers in wrestling. That and Alex Hammerstone's Nightmare Pendulum are the 2 best finishers, I think, in all of pro wrestling. But the end of days is just super duper cool. Trying to figure out here. There's a couple things I want to touch about with Baron Corbin, but I want to make sure that I do this in the right order here. Okay, this is coming from my old stomping grounds in WrestleZone. Baron Corbin has confirmed his new in-ring name after leaving WWE. The former WWE superstar was notified that WWE contract would not be extended. He officially left the company earlier this month, stating that shedding his name he had for the past decade. Baron Corbin wrestled his first match outside of WWE against Josh Barnett at the People vs. GCW this month. Yeah, pretty cool. This was like a Bloodsport, I believe, match, and he went by his real name. In a recent interview with Chris Van Vliet, the former Baron Corbin revealed his new wrestling name going forward. He announced that Bishop Dyer as the new name he chose, adding the nickname The Nomad to complement it. He chose Dyer as a surname as a reference to his previous nickname, The Lone Wolf, likening it to the Dire Wolf. Ooh, interesting. Corbin also recently trademarked the name for himself to use. The former Baron Corbin laid out his plans to work in New Japan and NWA and confirmed TNA has been in contact about the coming into the company. Baron Corbin revealed new name as Bishop Dyer. I'm laying it out right now because I got it to do it because I got to do me at the end of the day still. I've talked to you about I want to go here, I want to go here, I want to go here, I want to go to New Japan. TNA called. So maybe there's something there. Maybe NWA. I'm open to it. I'm open to it all because I love wrestling. And if I can go somewhere and be in the front of the fans, I'm going to go. Like, it's just that I know I don't want to sign a contract right now because I like this ability, Baron Corbin said. So I'm going with the Nomad, Bishop Dyer. I'm going to be the Nomad. I'm going to roam and I'm going to go to all of these, change it a little bit because it kind of pays tribute to the Lone Wolf, Dire Wolf, and then the Bishop is higher than a Baron. So we're going up. Wow, that's cool. The rankings are going up, so it's getting trademarked. So don't even try it, suckers. Getting trademarked right now. But I think it's just a powerful name. It's a cool name. I want to be the Nomad. I'm going to float and see where the wrestling world takes me in that sense. Man, just reading that, I think that's awesome. I think that's super cool. It shows that he's got a passion. He's got some intelligence when it comes to the pro wrestling game, how to promote yourself. Yeah, people got maybe like thought he was a stale character when it came to the heel role he played for Vince McMahon and wearing the waiter outfit, that kind of thing. And yeah, I can understand that. But I think overall, Baron Corbin has a lot of value that he will cultivate on his own. There's the neat aspect to him doing this Nomad gimmick and going around from promotion to promotion. Do you hear my cat running right now? But I think this is good stuff. I think that he has the potential. I'm going to make this comparison. Has the potential to do what Cody Rhodes did for himself on the independent wrestling scene, raise his value. Can it be to the level of Cody Rhodes? That was a little unprecedented, I think, when it came to Cody and what he did. Obviously, he left WWE. Then he went on the independent scene, ROH, and you name it, wrestled Kurt Angle, certain things like that, and kind of accrued a name. Ultimately, helped form AEW. Created his own identity here. And then, boom, big reaction for when he returned at WrestleMania. So, can Corbin get to that level? It's pretty unlikely, I would say. But he can certainly raise his value. And who knows? If he creates a cool identity for himself with this Bishop Dyer name and this just showcasing more of his personality as who he is, I think it is a really cool opportunity, and it shows what a lot of wrestlers today should be doing. This is I'm all for this, man. I think this is great. I'm a big fan of Baron Corbin, or now Bishop Dyer. So really neat stuff. I think there was something else I wanted to mention too on here when it came to him. The simple fact too that he did this blood sport thing is neat. It creates a little different vibe to him, right? I mean, we kind of knew, if you follow him on Instagram or socials, you'll see that I think he does like jiu-jitsu or something to that effect. He does some sort of MMA training or something like that. So him getting in the mix of, obviously too, he's a Golden Glove boxer too. Man, there's a lot I like about Baron Corbin or Bishop Dyer now. I think this is really cool. So I'm all for what he was doing. Oh, this is the other thing I wanted to make note of too. Something to maybe consider. Who was Baron Corbin managed by in WWE? JBL for a short period of time. What has JBL been doing on the independent scene? He's been lariating people and then leaving. He's been all over the map. He's been in TNA. He's been in GCW. Yes. He's been in MLW. Has he been in NWA? I don't know. I can't remember if he's been in NWA. But needless to say, he's been all over the place. What if these guys had a little something happening? You don't know. And here's another article from my current stomping grounds in SE Scoops. The former WWE star opened up about Top Brass' decision not to renew his contract during the new interview with Chris Van Vliet. Corbin interestingly suggested that there was someone in particular who was not his fan. Oh, how about that? Let's see what he says. Does he say something here? Let's see. It was 2.5 million views on my tweet alone. People were shocked. I was shocked. I could really kind of, when you get the gut instinct tells you something. Like I said, I think there was one person in particular that I think was behind all of it, and it sucks. It is what it is. I wonder who that was. Does anybody know? Has anybody heard anything? Either way, though, somebody did go to bat for him. It was Randy Orton. Called him after learning the news and offered to talk to Triple H on his behalf. Uh, Corbin said, "I'm not going to cry over it because I'm grateful for everything I had there and every opportunity that I had there. I can't let one person put me in a bad place. I'm not going to let one person control my emotions. I mean, the fact that Randy Orton's calling me, going there, someone who that doesn't like you. Again, I know who it is. I told him, and he's like, yeah, probably right. But you have someone of that magnitude being like, I want to talk to Hunter. Makes you feel good. Absolutely. I think it speaks to what Corbin has the potential to do. Yeah, I don't understand really the distaste for Corbin and what he did. He did his role. He played his job. And that he did he was an unlikable heel. How often do you get that nowadays? Now, you can make an argument that Vince like had it too much. He was all over. And that kind of thing. But he was good at what he did, and he did his job well. Yeah, I think there's a lot of value in Bishop Dyer now, and I'm excited to see what comes into play with that. All right. Dre Owens asks, how long until WWE buys TNA? I think they have a few years. There's this like discrepancy legally that they cannot actually buy TNA right now. I think that I think it's a few years where this something's got to kind of roll over where they can't buy it even. The partnership's awesome. It's crazy to just think that this was part of the this is actually something that happened, right? I mean, it was surreal to see it at Royal Rumble last year with Jordan Grace showing up, and the legs that this is now taken upon, and the relationship and what TNA has been doing as a company is just super duper cool. I'm all for what TNA has been doing, and I need to get back in the rhythm of watching it. I think I'll even subscribe to TNA Plus and try to check it out a little bit more, because I used to cover it for WrestleZone on a weekly basis, and I was always engaged by the product. I thought they did a great job. The only issue was like the crowd stuff was like, okay, you could kind of see, but production, presentation, storytelling, characters, they were all there. And I think they're really feeling it right now. Now you have Joe Henry, you have the Hardys, you have Nick Nemeth, you have Frankie Kazarian, who just re-signed. There's some good potential there. And Tessa Blanchard, obviously, I think she will do, despite what people are saying and what people online are going with. I think that storm will be weathered, and she'll be a big star for them too. So I think there's pretty cool stuff. Let's see what Jake says. I was at a house show a few years ago, and there was an 8 to 9-year-old girl who was screaming at Corbin the whole time he was out there. LOL. She was brutal to him. See, that's great. When you get a reaction like that from a kid, that speaks to what you're capable of doing. It's great. Man, I'm all for Corbin. I do want to interview him. Let's see. Was hoping to keep Corbin, have him do the broken Corbin after Vegas and Mania. And Dom, aren't you a boxer? When are you going to get in the ring? Oh my gosh. So I do boxing, but I have to be careful. High school, I played basketball, but, and I also learned this to be factual here recently, that if I get hit in the head too hard, I will go blind in this eye. I have the risk of going blind in this eye. I had surgery on this eye when I was a 4-year-old. Retina therapy or retinopathy it was, and so there's some scarring there. Usually scarring toughens the whole thing after the fact, and it makes it stronger. I still run the risk of, if I get hit in the head too hard by something, or boxing, wrestling, anything like that, I could risk losing vision in that eye. So it's a gamble to take. I do enjoy boxing. I love the aspect of like trying to focus on all different things that come with it. And there's a lot of focus. You have to think about your footwork. You have to think about your body motioning, your hips motioning, where you're putting your hands, and like what kind of punches you're throwing too. So there's a lot that comes into play. So I don't think I'll be getting in the ring at a certain point. Hate to spoil that for everybody, but you know, yeah, you never know though. Never say never. Uh, let's see. Yeah, the Joe Hendry pop is going to be massive this season in the Rumble. Absolutely, absolutely. I think there's going to be he's going to get a great reaction, and you want to see that TNA championship around his waist when he walks out there, both from the TNA standpoint and from Joe Hendry's standpoint, I'm sure too, because he's representing the company and he looks like a big ear deal too. So yeah, I think that's good stuff. I'm afraid TNA will suffer from the same fate as Evolve. I don't think so. If you look about where Evolve was at, they were just like, okay, I think maybe they were, you could watch them somewhere, but like, and weren't some of the stuff on the network itself. TNA's a recognizable wrestling name. Been around for over 20 years, and they're doing their own thing. So no, I think they'll be okay. I think they'll be all right. And it's its own entity. They're not owned by WWE. I think WWE actually bought out Evolve, if I'm not mistaken. So there's a lot to. Bum Corbin was the best. See, I liked Bum Corbin. I even liked Happy Corbin for a while too. I thought all this stuff was great. Like what a fun story. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. Let's see. Just wear an eye patch. You'll be all right. Do a pirate gimmick. Just kidding. But dang it, good to be safe. Yeah, good to be safe. I know. I thought about like, oh well, I could always wear an eye patch, but I don't know. Do you think we'll see JBL in the Rumble? I won't rule it out. Yeah, I certainly won't rule it out. I mean, he's been making the rounds and teasing a lot and doing some good stuff when it comes to that. So it'd be kind of cool to see him in there. Maybe this was like his appearance on Raw this past Monday could be an indication of that. Maybe a little hint. Devin Dallin, who is Daniel Dubois and Joseph Parker? February 22nd. Oh, is that? I know IWC has a show on February 22nd. That's the promotion I work for, International Wrestling Cartel. That's Civil War. You can purchase it on Triller if you'd like. Oh, shoot. That's boxers. So yeah, I'll admit too, I like boxing. I don't really follow the current product too much. I mean, I know who Tyson Fury is, and then Deontay Wilder, and the schmoz of Jake Paul and Mike Tyson and that kind of thing. I'm not like really in the weeds when it comes to the current boxing product. I'm more so I like the historical stuff. So I love like Muhammad Ali and Rocky Marciano and Sugar Ray Leonard. Sonny Liston, so older names like that. Anthony Joshua, okay, I know who he is. And then there's what's the guy too? Is it like Caleb Plant? Is that his name? I like that guy. I think he's pretty cool. I think he's a boxer, right? I like that guy too. Yeah, so I'll have to check that out though. Yeah, definitely. There's also a local boxer here who's I go to a boxing class. His name's Joey Turk. He's got a boxing match February 8th in Pittsburgh. And, I don't know if I'll be able to attend it, but I will certainly be rooting for him. He's a cool dude. He does a great class at the gym I go to. And, yeah, really nice dude too. So always root for him. And he's a dude. He can go. He can go. So how about that? Oh, it's behind Uric and Fury. All right. Oh, wait. Daniel Dubois just beat AJ back in October. He's like the third ranked heavyweight right now. Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, all right. You're going to have to educate me a little bit, Devin. I'm not too familiar with this. Yeah, Caleb Plant, super middleweight champion. He's awesome. Yeah, I like his attitude and stuff. So pretty cool stuff. Triple H should bring back Brawl for All. Could you imagine in today's landscape, just the body types are different and everything to that effect. There's that intrigue, but yeah, it's definitely the grand scheme of the Brawl for All. It was like detrimental to the product. Like Dr. Death Steve Williams was supposed to be a big deal coming into that, and that basically ruined his WWE run. Was all that stuff happening? Like everybody says too that Steve Blackman, if he didn't hurt himself, he would have won the whole dang thing. So who would win today's Brawl for All? Oh, that's a tough one. The currently in WWE? Wasn't Damian Priest? Doesn't he have a boxing background? Maybe Karrion Kross? Logan Paul? Logan Paul. That'd be interesting. I don't know. I don't know if did Damian Priest have a boxing background? Should I be talking about something else? Is there news that I'm not like that I'm completely missing here? Instead of like going off on these tangents. Oh, how about that? Here's something I'll talk about. I know I'm pivoting here. Brock Anderson, I'm a big fan of. Discussed on the K&S WrestleFest. That's where they do the virtual signing stuff. It's kind of fun to watch those. I used to do the transcriptions for some of that. Brock Anderson was asked to comment when he felt like he wasn't going down the right career path at AEW. He said about 2 years in, probably, hindsight 2020, it was a brand new company. They'd only done a handful of TVs before COVID. Then they went into COVID. So in one sense, I was the best place for me to be because it was like I could not be out on the indies. They weren't running. So at least I was there. When I was there, Cody was there. We were at Jacksonville at Daly's place. During the TV days, they would have all these young guys out there, and some of the boys would be watching. They'd be like, that was good. This was bad. In that respect, it was good. Like I said, it was a newish company, and we're in the middle of a global pandemic. We didn't know if we were going to develop a training center or any of that. It was just early. You're just like, okay, we'll keep doing this, and we'll see what happens. We'll see how they bring us along. Once you got out of the pandemic, we were rocking and rolling. It was just TVs, and that school never came. After doing those 5-minute Universal matches, you can't really get better doing that. It's too short of a time. You don't learn how to wrestle after a year and a half. It was like this. It's great. I loved everybody there. I appreciate the opportunity. Tony Khan and everybody. It's just where I was, I need to be somewhere where I could actually get repetitions and learn the business. They sent me another. They wanted me to redo the current deal I was on, but it was not enough. So I was like, maybe we just don't do this and we go our separate ways. I think it was the best decision I've made. If I just stayed there and worked the 5-6 times a year that I was guaranteed, I would never have the mentor I have sitting to my left, which was C.W. Anderson. And all the knowledge I've soaked up in that short amount of time. Look, Brock Anderson's awesome. Like, if you haven't gotten to check some of his stuff outside of AEW, he's been doing some great work with MLW as the Rogue Horseman, and C.W. Anderson's part of that. Like, Brock makes a great point. If you listen to Arn, you'll know that, like, Arn agrees with, hey, he needs repetition, and he needs stuff in the ring to get better and to further his talent in the ring and stuff like that. Brock, he's still young. He's a big dude. So I think there's a lot of cool stuff on the horizon for him. He's got, obviously a great mentor in the Enforcer, but like he's got a good head on his shoulders too. And I think that's only going to elevate him as he grows outside of AEW and things like that. And that's been the issue with AEW. Like, why not make a school? Why not do this kind of stuff? Like you have QT Marshall with the Nightmare Factory, which I think is WEID tagged, right? It's tagged now. So they should have done this. They should have done the early work of, hey, let's establish a school, a feeder system, create some stuff, get people with these reps in, and let's build the foundation of this company. Get Bryan Danielson to run something. Obviously he's passionate about this stuff. Why not have him like operate something here? I don't know. I just think that would be the thing to do with this company. You want to be the competition to WWE? Here it is. You're not dotting your I's, crossing your T's if you're not like looking at the ground, the roots of how your company is being built and structured. That, when you have a feeder system where you're getting these reps in, you think about guys like EJ Nduka, Lee Johnston. I mean, you name a lot of the younger talents. They're there. Billy Starks, plenty of talent that you can really put a focus on getting them acclimated. Nick Wayne, the list, Hook, the list continues to go on. And it's just like you're doing your company, your promotion, in the industry a disservice by not having a feeder system. I think so. They need something to have do it. Yeah, even WCW had the power plant. Let's see. I saw something. Ibu from Fightful buried himself on his Discord recently. That's news-ish. I saw something. Didn't he just tweet something? Oh, no, this was here. I think this is an Observer thing. Let me see if I can find it. We'll close it out with this. If you guys have questions real quick, chime in the chat and I'll address them before I close out. Let me see what's going on here. If I'm missing something. Do I want to cover anything else? Let's see. There's some interesting stuff to talk about as the weeks go on. Shoot. Well, in the meantime, let's talk about a little bit of BlueChew. How about some BlueChew, guys? Have better sex with BlueChew. BlueChew is the original brand offering chewable tablets. These erection-enhancing tablets help men achieve stronger, harder, and longer-lasting erections for sexual activities. BlueChew is putting its money where its mouth is and offering you a month free. The process is simple. Sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. BlueChew tablets are made in the US of A, and prepared and shipped directly to your door. You can take them anytime, day or night, so you can plan ahead or be ready whenever an opportunity arises. The best part, it's all done online. That means no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. Does it work? Buddy, find out for yourself with a month free. Make it life easier by getting harder and discover your options at BlueChew.com. We've got a special deal for our listeners. Try your first month of BlueChew free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank BlueChew for sponsoring the podcast. Thank you, BlueChew. Also, want to thank another sponsor that we have this week. One I'm a big, big fan of, and that is Perfect Gene. I love Perfect Gene. I got my trial pair in the mail, and like I said before, put it on. I usually, like, when I get new pair of jeans, even if they're Levi's or anything like that, I throw them in the wash because it's just like they're stiff. I want to make sure that they fit me well. With Perfect Gene, I put them on and they fit me great. They felt great. They were comfortable. So Perfect Gene is an awesome product. It's worth if you want a great pair of jeans, Perfect Gene is the place to go. And you can pick your style, you can pick your size, you can pick all the fit, really, really good stuff. And the product is quality stuff. I wore them yesterday. I had an event I had to go to. I wore them yesterday evening. I specifically looked for the Perfect Gene in my pairs of pants because that's the pair I wanted to wear to make sure that I looked good. So you can go to the perfectgene.nyc/rumor15 and get your own pair. You get a good discount, a 15% discount. And it's really, really great stuff. I cannot highly recommend it enough. Perfect Gene is so good. It's finally time to stop crushing your balls in uncomfortable jeans and going to theperfectgene.nyc. Our listeners get 15% off your first order, plus free shipping, free returns, and free exchanges when you use the code RUMOR15 at checkout. That's 15% off new customers at theperfectgene.nyc with promo code RUMOR15. After your purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them that Rumor and Innuendo sent you. F your khakis and get the Perfect Gene. All right. Anybody ask any questions? No big deal if you haven't, but let's see what happens. Did Dom try the new Mando scent? No, the Cedar, I believe it's called. I just saw that. No, I need to try that out. I love the Mount Fuji. That's my favorite. So if you would like to support that, go to shopmando.com and use promo code RVD if you want to help me out, help RVD out. Pretty good stuff. All Jake says it's a vocal recording. This is Ebu from the Wrestle Purist from his Discord, apparently, where he buries TK, which is funny because he normally bootlicks LMAO. Not sure. I don't know Ebu. I know I've seen him online and things like that. And I know he's kind of sort of reported stuff. We read something about him yesterday where regarding Ricky Starks and Tony Khan. And nothing was super informative, I thought. Like, it was just like, okay, that we've kind of heard some of this stuff before. And so it's like, I don't know anything about him. He could be credible and does his job well. I have no assessment of him at this juncture. Next Fonzie episode, we're gonna plan for next week, I think. Triple E, me and Bill Alfonso gonna do a show. Looking forward to. Oh my god, jeez, how did I not cover this? Saturday night's main event. Who? All right. Well, man, let's take a look here. Saturday night's main. I can't believe I just completely forgot. Damn it, Tom. Let's see. Saturday night's main event. What an idiot. Hold on a second. Gosh, that's tomorrow. Unbelievable. All right, Jey Uso challenging the World Heavyweight Champion Gunther on Saturday night's main event. I think we know where this is going to go. Gunther will retain. I think this will be a fun match, though. Putting Jey in this position, though, is good stuff for him because they see the value in him, and he's earned it. So pretty cool to see him go up against Gunther in this high-profile matchup on NBC. This is the way to do it here. Intercontinental Championship: Braun Breaker versus Sheamus. This could maybe be a wild card, right? Like, they haven't done much with Braun as the Intercontinental Champion here. So it'd be kind of nice for him to get a definitive win against Sheamus. But what would be next for Sheamus? Sheamus has that's the white whale for him, is the Intercontinental Championship. Literally, if that's the title, if he wins that title, he's won every title in WWE, and that's unprecedented at this juncture. So that'd be pretty neat for him. And you could tell a good story with that. And I don't think you would necessarily lose a whole lot when it comes to Braun actually losing the match. But you do run the risk. I think ultimately, if I had to pick, I would say Braun Breaker, and you just continue to try to build him and establish him as this dominant guy that even beats a big guy like Sheamus. Women's World Championship match, Rhea Ripley taking on Nia Jax. This was kind of thrown together in certain ways, but I think it's fitting for what you're doing here. Rhea Ripley is a new champion. Nia Jax is a former champion that just lost her title. So creating a feud between these two just to kind of heat up for this weekend is totally fine with me. And you can tell a good story where Rhea retains, and maybe you get a little bit of storytelling too on the side of Nia, and who maybe meddles in her business when it comes to a SmackDown presence. Could this be maybe a potential opportunity for someone like a Charlotte Flair or a Becky Lynch to show up? Yeah, why not? Big profile show here. So you could really, hey, Becky Lynch is back. Charlotte Flair's back. Man, pretty interesting stuff. Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens are set for a Royal Rumble contract signing. And guess who's going to be there? It's HBK. He's going to moderate everything. This should be a really cool segment. Kevin Owens has that old school Eagle Wing belt, and Cody's got the new title. Shawn Michaels has held that big Eagle belt. So pretty cool stuff. I'm sure Kevin Owens has got some clever things in the holster for him to talk about and share. Is there another match here that we got to do? Braun Strowman versus Jacob Fatu. Heck yeah. Really good showcase of the guy that should be showcased in Jacob Fatu. So I could imagine him taking out Braun Strowman. Maybe not clean. I'm all for seeing some nefarious business going down here. So I think that's a good idea to do. Man, I cannot believe I just completely forgot about Saturday night's main event. What is up with me? Goldberg to cost Gunther the belt. I don't think so. I think I would like to see Goldberg show up, though. I know people He's very polarizing. I love Goldberg. I will always be a Goldberg merc because guess what? He was the first big wrestler I ever met. 13 years old, DuBois, Pennsylvania. Speaking of DuBois there, Devin, DuBois, Pennsylvania. Me and my degenerate brother Marcus went to a Hampton Inn. This was 2 days before the Great American Bash of 1998, where Goldberg was going to try to get his 11th or his 100th win, undefeated streak against Conan. And so Marcus and I met Goldberg as kids, and he was a really nice guy. And I will always like Goldberg. And then when I got to meet Goldberg later on, it was at WrestleMania in New Orleans, 2018. I showed him that picture, and he was like, "Oh my god." He's like, "Why are you doing this to me?" So I will always be a fan of Goldberg. I like his presence. He's just an ass kicker, and pretty neat stuff. Oh wow, Maven just released a video of RVD saying I got called out. Oh, all right. Well, I'll have to check that out and see what gets said on there. Rob, speaking of which, if you haven't checked it out, oh, Dre, see, I always miss you on the jokes. He's just joking. I just goes over my head. I'm like that meme where Superman's looking over and the joke's just floating. So yeah, so if you haven't checked it out, go to rvdtv.com right now. There's an early clip of next week's episode where Rob and I recorded, and Rob goes into detail about his issues with Bobby Fulton and them as a promotion, Big Time Wrestling. They've been doing some shady business kind of stuff, not just with Rob, but with other talents in the business too. And a lot of names have been speaking out against them. So it's worth your time to check it out. I compilated that clip with a previous clip of him addressing the other Bobby Fulton's son, Dylan Hines, and what he has to say about them. So it's a really fascinating clip. I think everybody should check it out, and be sure to like and subscribe to rvdtv.com and help get the word out about that, because we're a growing show and we've been around for over a year, but I'm really happy with what we've been doing on there. So be sure to check that out. Speaking of checking stuff out, be sure to check out the new Working Stiff. Scott and Robert cover a lot of ground on this one. They preview the Saturday night's main event, which I just did almost forgettably. And so you can check them out right now. That's up and available on your podcast feeds of choice. Be sure to support that show as well. Also, you want to help out RVD, please give us a 5-star review on our audio stuff. We want to really build our audio presence. So if you are listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, give us a 5-star review and help us out. Anything else I want to talk about? No, I think that'll do it. This has been a fun one. I go overtime when I'm just flying solo, but hopefully it's worth your while. Hopefully I say some somewhat smart things, and you can always give me feedback. Positive or negative, I don't care. I always think that is, as long as it's constructive criticism, we all learn from it. And this is always a learning process, and I enjoy learning from you guys. I enjoy getting the interaction in here and seeing new faces, familiar faces, all show up in the chat. So I appreciate it. And yes, so you guys all have a fun weekend. Enjoy Saturday night's main event. I'll have to remember to tune in. It'll be interesting to see how Jesse Ventura follows up. I know he'll be there, and he expressed his excitement on social media to be there. So it'll be cool to see what they do with him on there too. If I had to venture a guess, I think we're going to get some sort of a surprise on there. I think that'll be cool stuff. But all right, guys, I will see you on Monday for next week's Rumor and Innuendo. Yay! Best of luck in your future endeavors, and go Bills. Go Bills.